In this walkthrough, you'll build a macro from scratch, assign it to multiple targets, set the ranges, and automate the movement. The example I'm using is called motion. As you turn it, it widens the synth, opens the filter, shortens the attack, and pulls the delay feedback back a bit. Then we'll set that same macro to move on its own, so you get movement without having to draw any automation in your DAW. Everything you're seeing here is from the current Romplur build, so the menus are exactly what you'll have. By the end of this, you'll know how to pick targets, set safe ranges, invert destinations, shape response curves, sequence automated targets, and use each movement shape. More importantly, you'll know how to actually design a macro around a musical idea, not just connect random parameters and hope for the best. Start with a new project and open the GUI designer. The Components panel on the left has the knob control we'll use for the macro. Drag a knob onto the canvas and put it somewhere a performer can actually find it. For this demo, the included project has a graphite background with one big center zone for the main performance control. The Properties panel on the right is closed for now, so the canvas stays clean. Make the control big enough to move confidently and give it a short, action-oriented name. Something like motion, character, space, impact, or intensity. Keep the visual hierarchy clear. Someone new should be able to look at the interface and know which control matters before they read anything. The project file that comes with this video has this exact setup, so you can open it and check every setting yourself. Right-click the knob and choose Automate Movement. That opens Macro Builder. You can also get to the same target editor from the knob's Macro Targets property. Useful if you want to build a manual macro without turning on movement. Across the top, you've got 3 target families. Click Add Sampler, and you get voice, pitch, and the amplitude envelope. Click Add Synth for oscillator, LFO, and arpeggiator controls. Click Add FX for filter, time and space, modulation, dynamics, output, lo-fi, ring mod, shimmer, and stereo tools. The menus on screen are the actual Romplur menus. Nothing's mocked up. One macro can pull from all 3 families, so a single gesture can reshape the source, the synthesis, and the effects all at once. Clear Targets wipes the whole assignment. Delete only removes that specific target. Enabled lets you audition or bypass a single destination without losing its settings. For motion, click Add Synth, then Oscillator, then Synth Spread. Then click Add FX, Filter, Filter Cutoff. Back to Add FX, Time and Space, Delay Feedback. And finally click Add Sampler, Envelope, Attack. Every highlighted item is exactly what's being selected. These 4 targets tell one story. At the low end, the sound is narrow, darker, softer, with more echo. As motion comes up, it gets wider, brighter, and more upfront, while the feedback drops to keep things clear. That's a lot better than just making everything go up. Think in terms of a musical transition: closed to open, soft to aggressive, dry to distant, stable to unstable, natural to processed. Continuous parameters usually give you the smoothest feel. 3 to 5 targets is the sweet spot. It's easier to understand, tune, and perform than a huge list. Every target has its own mapping. Min and max set the safe travel range. For synth spread, I'm using 15 to 85%. Avoids a collapsed center at the bottom and too much width at the top. Filter cutoff is 10 to 95, a wide sweep without hitting either extreme. Delay feedback is 5 to 55. Feedback needs conservative limits because high values can build up fast. Attack is 0 to 35, so the macro never makes the instrument feel like an unusably slow pad. Invert flips a target. I'm inverting feedback and attack, so they come down while spread and cutoff go up. Curves control how the response develops. Linear is neutral. Ease in waits before it accelerates. Ease out responds fast, then settles. S-curve is smooth at both ends. Exponential pushes the top. Logarithmic pushes the bottom. Step gives you 16 distinct positions, great for rhythmic or switch-like movement. Sync delay kicks in when Romplur is driving the macro with motion automation. It offsets a destination in milliseconds, so automated targets can come in as a short cascade. The stagger 5 milliseconds button writes 0, 5, 10, and 15 milliseconds across the 4 targets in order. No stagger resets all sync delays back to 0. This doesn't affect manual knob movement at all, that's instant. Manual movement applies your ranges, inversion, and curves right away. The slew field is visible in the builder, but the current runtime doesn't actually use it. Just leave it at 0. Use sync delay sparingly. It's best for pads, evolving textures, or transition controls. No stagger is better for tight, tempo-critical movement. Set your ranges first, then inversion and curves, then only add as much automation delay as you need to make the cycle feel readable. Motion automation moves the control while preview or test mode is active. Enable automate movement, then open movement shape. Shine gives you smooth, continuous movement. Safest starting point. Triangle moves at a constant rate in both directions. Ramp up is repeating rises, ramp down is repeating falls. Square alternates between 2 states, hard contrast. Sample and hold generates random movement on Romplur's runtime update ticks. Rate goes from 0.01 to 40 Hz. Start slow, around 0.1 to 0.5, so you can actually hear what's happening. Depth controls the total travel around center. Center sets where it rests. Phase changes where the cycle starts. Automation drives both the mapped targets and the visible macro control. For a subtler result, bring down depth before shrinking every target range. That keeps the full manual travel intact while making the auto movement less extreme. Close Macro Builder and go into test mode. Keep the Properties panels closed so the finished interface fills the workspace. Move motion from min to max while you hold a note or play something. Listen for level jumps, sudden brightness, stereo issues, feedback buildup, unusable ranges. Then test the middle too. A good macro should sound intentional across the whole travel, not just at 0 and 100. Disable individual targets to figure out which one's causing a problem. For a space macro, try reverb mix, size, damping, delay mix, and inverted filter cutoff. For impact, attack, compressor makeup, bit depth, reverb mix, and reverb size. For cinematic motion, synth spread, phaser mix, stereo width, shimmer mix, and filter cutoff. Every parameter in those recipes is in the menus we already looked at. Save the project, verify the macro in Romplur test mode, then test the exported plugin in at least one DAW. And that's it. One clear control, multiple verified destinations, and optional movement that actually sounds musical.